Hello Pisces, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I will be doing your November 2022 mid-monthly check-in reading for you. Yes, I'm wearing glasses today. Didn't want to put in my contacts. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with the different deck. So what's going on for the sign of Pisces? What do we need to know for you? Get you a couple more shuffles in. One riffle shuffle. I'm feeling told to do that. Okay. You have the Star. So connecting onto a new path right here. Moving from one point to the next point, because you have to understand that your life is like a constellation. You're going to have, your starting point, and then you're going to have your ending point, and then whatever in between is you, right? So when I see the star, this does represent your hopes, your dreams, your desires, focusing on that, moving towards a new constellation, or not new constellation, but the new star within your constellation. It represents a great turning point within your life. It represents forward movement as well. Can also mean a wish come true. However, I feel like wishes are really just hard work that you put in, and then all of a sudden you see a great outcome and you're like, wow, I wished for that. Well, you also worked for it too, so don't discount your own work, your own effort, right? Now, I'm not going to say there isn't divine intervention. There is. However, a lot of the times it's because you put in work. So what's going on? Ugh, if I could shuffle today, it'd be great. I'm going to be using the Revelations Tarot. This deck does have reversals in it. So let me get you a couple more shuffles. Okay. We have the Nine of Pentacles. We have the Ace of Pentacles in reversed, and we have the Knight of Wands. So the Nine of Pentacles represents you moving towards a garden, a very happy, harmonious situation for yourself. It can also be that you grew everything in this garden. So you did put in hard work to move forward into a new path within your life. Now, you have the Ace of Pentacles right here in reverse. If it was upright and you added it to the Nine of Pentacles, that would be a full 10. So what I'm seeing for you is that you want to rush out and find this new pentacle, or find this pentacle that you're missing with the Knight of Wands. And sometimes that's useful because in the Bible, a woman did lose her coins and she did look all over the house to find her coins, right? So even though you have 9 and you're like, it looks good, I still want this 10th one. It can also be representation of the shepherd in the Bible where he counted up his flock and he was missing a sheep and he went out and found it himself. I know I use a lot of biblical references, but once again, tarot is heavily based within Catholicism because it is a Catholic-based reading system, or cryptography system, because it's all about reading signs and symbols. So what do we need to know about this Nine of Pentacles? We have the Ten of Cups. You want a full 10, but you have the Two of Swords. You don't know how to get it, though. So you're happy. I do see that you're going to have a very happy occasion right here, and it has to do with the Two of Swords. You're realizing that there is a delay. You want a full 10. You want ultimate happiness, but you know that you're going to have to go out and get it yourself. So how do you get this Ace of Pentacles? You have the Page of Pentacles, and you have the Knight of Cups. It looks as though it's being brought to you, or at least being met halfway. The Knight of Cups is bringing this Page of Pentacles towards you. You have the Knight of Pentacles, or the Knight of Wands, and you have the Six of Cups with the King of Pentacles. Yeah. Someone is bringing you this gift with the Six of Cups and this King of Pentacles energy. Because when we look at the Knight of Cups right here and the Six of Cups, this Knight is marching towards you. The Six of Cups means he's handing off this cup to his little sister because he wants her to be happy, right? He wants to play pretend and have her be happy for a day, but when you receive this cup, you receive the pentacle from the King of Pentacles right here, which gives you the full 10. So you're being met halfway. So why are you getting this? Why? The Hierophant with the Queen of Pentacles, because you are deserving of this. Because the Hierophant represents the ultimate connection to God. It represents number 5, right? 5 being the 5th element. On the pentagram, you have the light element. You have the earth, fire, water, and air. The Pope sits underneath the 5th element as being in the Catholic faith, being the one who's mostly connected to God, right? So the Queen of Pentacles is handing off this pentacle from the Hierophant to you. So that way you can have a full 10. So that way you can be really happy with the 10 of Cups. I feel like in a way you think you're happy with the 9 of Pentacles right now because you put in a lot of work for something. But I don't think you understand how happy you will be when you receive this cup right here. Or when you receive this pentacle that comes in this cup. So it's like an emotional thing. So it's an emotional piece of paper. It could be like, you know, how can I say that? An emotional piece of paper could be a really good recommendation. It could be, you know, notoriety right here. Someone writes a good review about you. I feel like that's what you're missing, is you're missing some sort of emotional happiness within this pentacle. You need something from it. Why? The Hanged Man. Because it is completion for you. It does represent, you know, seeing things from a different perspective. That's what this Ace of Pentacles is. Seeing something from a different perspective right here. With the Six of Wands. You have ultimate victory if you get this. You have a very good victory for you, but there's one thing that you need to go out and get right here. And so this could be representation of you have like a collection of something, and all of a sudden you're going to find that piece to your collection, that missing piece. Like you have a really nice collection, but you're missing something to make it complete for you. So that way you can marvel at it. And it's being offered to you. It's coming towards you. It's coming towards you because it's been decreed by the Hierophant. It gives you victory. Understand that for yourself. Don't block yourself off to your own happiness right here. Don't block yourself off to the Ten of Cups. Because you need this pentacle to move forward on the star. You need to be able to see the star as the full constellation itself. You don't... It'd be like, you know, if you looked at Orion's belt and it was missing the centerpiece. Like, I mean, it's technically still Orion's belt, but, I mean, it... like... it's not as iconic, right? The Seven of Wands, Four of Swords, and the Moon. You need to push back against being in some sort of hazy dream state right here. I feel like that's kind of what's doing it to you, is that you've gotten a little bit too comfortable in a situation where you currently are in. So I think it's saying wake up, right? Wake up from the moonlight. Wake up from this dream that you're in. Wake up from the Nine of Pentacles. Wake up and go and get this 10th one. Because you never know when you'll need it. You never know when you're going to need that extra lamb. You never know, like that poor woman in the Bible, where she's going to need those, you know, that extra coin. That's what's missing right here. You don't know how much you need this because you're comfortable in something right now. But I feel like it's such a big deal because it offers the Hanged Man victory, so it allows the Hanged Man to come down. It allows the Hanged Man to finally realize what he's been searching for all of his life and have a massive victory with the Six of Wands. Yeah, the Fool. You get a brand new opportunity. You close out a cycle and you can start a new one. Remember, the World is the end of the major arcana. And then you have the Magician, which is the start of the major arcana. But here's the thing. The Fool is the centerpiece because... how can I explain this? Have you ever clicked on like your computer, right? Like in the background, and you made like that square and like you can highlight your icons. Have you ever made that square and just like moved it back and forth? Do that on your computer one time, and what will happen is you can move it so far this way and then so far this way, but if you move it right in the center and move this line, it disappears. And that's what the Fool is. It represents going from nothing, but at the same time having everything to create again. You can't see it, but it's still there. So that's actually a very good representation. It's like the building blocks of life are still there, even though they're ripped apart and you might not be able to see them. Everything is still there in some way, shape, or form. Even though it's ripped apart, completely destroyed, whatever, it has a new opportunity to become something new somewhere else. Eight of Wands, the Tower. That's what you're missing. You're missing the grand epiphany. You don't have the grand epiphany yet. Because when we look at the tower energy, the sun strikes the tower down and causes the people to fall out of the tower. But once again, it is the sign of illumination. The Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles coming out. Why do you need it so badly, though? Like, because because you need those building blocks of life. You can't go into the new cycle without having all 10 building blocks. It's like, even though the building blocks get ripped apart within the Fool, when you come out the other side, it's something else, but it wouldn't be the Ten of Pentacles if you came out the other side. It's like a black hole, right? Throwing things into a black hole, you don't know, like it gets ripped apart atom by atom, but then like on the other side, maybe something happens. Maybe they come out and they're reformed. They're building blocks on the other side. You know, I'm just throwing out ideas for you. But you need it in order to, on the other side or whatever it is, to have the full 10 for yourself. You have the Ace of Pentacles coming out. Yeah, you have the Ace of Pentacles upright now. I don't know if you can see it. So you have the Ace and you have the 10. Clarify the Tower. The Lovers, yeah, it's divinely connected. So the Lovers energy doesn't represent love itself. It represents Adam and Eve being in the Garden of Eden where everything is perfect and they're connected to God. Yes, there is still the snake in the background. Yes, it's foreshadowing the events, but while we look at the Lovers, it represents perfection, okay? Because even though Adam and Eve did sin, they still stayed in perfection and perfect bliss and harmony in the Garden of Eden for a certain amount of time, right? And that's what you need to understand, is that there is perfection with the Ten of Pentacles here. You need to have this last piece. You need to have something. It's integral to go through the loop of the Fool. To have the Ten of Cups. But what is it, though? What does it represent? Is it words? Is it, physical monetary gain? It's cup energy with pentacle energy. The Wheel of Fortune. It can be whatever it wants to be. The Wheel of Fortune represents the cycle of life. Okay? It goes from T to A to R to O and then back to T, tarot. It's an eternal loop. You need something for this. The Wheel of Fortune, it's the cycle. It represents the graph. You have the Ace of Wands. A new opportunity. It's a new opportunity coming towards you, and you need to take it because it changes the situation. It is the Ace of Pentacles. It is something that allows you to complete the full 10, to have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. You don't realize how happy you're about to be. There is something coming towards you. You're blocked off to it with the Two of Swords. You're like, yeah, maybe I can take it, but I feel like you have to meet halfway. Yeah, the Judgment, you're being called. You're being called to a higher purpose, to a higher order. The Judgment is cast upon the world, right? Remember, it goes from Judgment, which I believe is number 20, and then 21 is the world. So how I said, going from the world into the Fool, Judgment is a preparation to call people out of their graves before the tribulation can happen on the world, before the world is destroyed. Because when we look at it, God created the earth, and then in the end, which is Revelation, he says that he's going to destroy the world, right? So destroy the earth. So you need to have all 10 pentacles in order to be called to this new situation. The Emperor in reversed. It's funny. This came out in reverse in another reading because I dropped it on the floor and then I forgot to put it back into the deck upright. So, the Emperor reversed. One more card, the King of Wands. The Emperor reversed to the King of Wands. So the Emperor reversed has the Four of Wands over it, and the King of Wands represents the star itself. The King of Wands is a magician that moves you, so I feel like there is a magician in your life that moves you from one place to the other. It helps get you from point A to point B on this new star, on the constellation of your life. There is negative... The Emperor seems like a tyrant, but I feel like you can connect to this tyrant right here with the Four of Wands. All right? So I feel like you might be the King of Wands wanting to move forward on your star, and then some gruff, grumpy CEO who everyone hates likes you for some reason and wants to give you a victory. So I kind of feel like that's what this is. Someone is, yeah, Queen of Swords. Very sharp, very blunt, kind of a tyrant, but they like you with the Four of Wands. Someone is going to help move you forward, okay? He has a lot of authority. He can be kind of a jerk. He doesn't care about people's feelings, but you have victory with him with the Queen of Swords. His information helps move you along. The Magician. The Magician. Yeah. Moving you from 0 to 1. So, I'm going to get into your Awaken Oracle cards. Oh my gosh. Just cards falling off this table, and I'm kind of locked into this like chair situation that I have. I was just sitting on a stool for a while, but I needed a better chair because, like, I don't know, this is more spacious. I can actually set my arms down. I'm going to have to move around my setup a little bit, so that way I can accommodate myself when that happens, because I'm kind of locked in. I have to move my chair. It doesn't have wheels, so I have to like tip it backwards to get out of here. So anyway, we have Heal and Shine. So Heal and Shine and reflect. Reflect on the situation. Why do you need that 10 of Pentacles? Why do you need the 10th Pentacle? Reflect on it. Heal and shine. Continue to be beautiful. Continue to shine on yourself. Reflect, think, move forward, okay? You have protection. You're protected right here, and you have your life purpose. Your life purpose, what you are supposed to do within your life is protected, okay? Don't be scared. Understand that your life purpose, your goal on this earth is going to be okay. You will succeed, so don't be afraid to go and get this 10th Pentacle. If it's part of your destiny, which it looks like it is, then get it. You'll be protected in it. You have eternal love. Love is love is love and transcends physical death. And you have winter, the sacredness of pausing. I feel like you're in a little bit of a, that pause energy, that Fool energy that I was talking about. That's all this is. But you are connected to God right here with the Lover's energy, because eternal love. Love is love and transcends physical death. So you are connected to God. You are connected to the divine with the star energy. So your life purpose cannot be destroyed because you are connected to what you are supposed to do. You are connected to the Emperor. You're connected to what you are supposed to be doing. I feel like in a way, people don't quite understand life like God. God has jealousy and wrath and rage and whatnot. But God, when you look at it from the Christian perspective, breathed into Adam and Eve the breath of life. So he gave them a piece of himself. He gave them the spark. The thing that separates us from the angels is the divine connection from God, the breath of life. He formed the angels, but he didn't breathe his breath of life into them. So therefore they don't have souls. And so what you have to understand right here is the reason we are told not to be wrathful and vengeful and whatever is because we are trying to cast those bad parts off of us, because only God has those things, right? So even though we are tempted to use wrath and rage and envy and pride and jealousy, whatever, we're not supposed to have those things. And you might say, well, why can God have those things? Because God controls the negative and the positive polarities. Anything that is bad, God controls it. Anything that is good, God controls it. We are supposed to move ourselves from this negative, toxic thing into the light. So if you are connecting to God and you're trying to get rid of, pride and arrogance and deceit and shame and hate, because when you look at like the Bible or look at the Torah or whatever, God did, he killed people. He was vengeful. He was angry. He was wrathful. Those are not qualities we are supposed to have. Essentially, when you think of Jesus, because we are all children of God, right? So think about it like this. We are all children of God, so we all have the capabilities of knowing him. And the reason I'm doing this, I know a lot of people are going to have differences of opinions. I read from the Catholic perspective. I grew up in that faith. Tarot is a Catholic perspective-based system of reading, okay, of cartomancy. There are other systems of cartomancy that don't involve Catholicism. However, if you're going to read tarot, which was invented by Catholics, it's not evil because, it was invented by the church. Well, Catholic people who were involved with the church. You can go ahead and read from a different perspective, but I'm going to read from this perspective because I feel like this is important. If we're all children of God and we can all connect to God and we all have the ability to do so, think of who Jesus was. Jesus was basically, God's son, which we're all God's children, but he was able to give Jesus the knowledge of everything all at once. See, when we're younger, we're told not to do things because they're bad for us, but we do them anyway, right? People can tell you all day till they're blue in the face, don't smoke, but what do teenagers do? They smoke. Imagine if you knew everything already. If you knew the reason to not smoke. If you actually understood in the grand scheme of things, because Jesus didn't just see in the 3D, he saw within the 10th dimension of things, right? He saw everything all at once. He understood all types of technology, all types of whatever. So he was given basically the cheat codes to move forward, to save the world. And when people say, well, God is a tyrant because he would send his people to hell, well, Jesus overcame death in the grave, which is hell. So essentially, God went to hell for 3 days and rose from the dead. So if you truly think about it, God's never going to make you do anything that he hasn't already done. So that's the message for you. You have spider deception. And you have fox, cunning. Deception and cunning right here. So I feel like someone is trying to deceive you with deception, but you are smart enough with this cunning energy to see through it, okay? You are smart enough to move around the situation yourself. So I feel like there is a situation that's coming up. Let's clarify that. Who's that? You have the 3 of Swords with the 2 of Pentacles. Someone is trying to give you false news, trying to give you false... The 3 of Swords itself is heartbreak, but when you think about it, it's a logical conclusion that doesn't have a logical conclusion. Because you're sitting there and you're saying, well, I should go to college, but then in the back of your head, you're like, college is stupid, I'm never going to get a good job. So in a way, you logically broke your heart. You're saying, I need to go work at this job so I can make money, but I hate the people, I hate this job. So you're logically breaking your heart. So someone is not allowing you to, someone is putting things in your head that don't balance out your psyche, okay? So you could be listening to someone who is not allowing you to see the logical conclusion of everything. And the logical conclusion is that don't break your own heart. There is a rhyme, there is a reason for everything within your life, okay? You need to balance that out yourself. You need to understand that when you feel sad through a logical conclusion, who is trying to do that to you? Is someone trying to plague you? What's this cunning energy? The King of Cups with the 9 of Cups. You have the King of Cups with the 9 of Cups. Someone is trying to give you the full 10 of Cups, trying to give you the full secrets, the answers to everything. In a cunning way. But don't be deceived, okay? The 3 of Swords with the 2 of Pentacles. It's funny. I just went through that whole monologue, and then all of a sudden the deception card came out. It's kind of funny. But, I mean, it's up to you how you want to view it. The reason that I read from this perspective and the reason I went on that tangent was to just give you the concept of, you know, what you're trying to do. If you're connecting to God, your protection, your life purpose is protected. If you don't, then it's not the end. If you're not connecting to the fifth element being energy or light or the soul, it is what it is, right? So you have Rado, speed your journey, ease a transition, aid communication, bring good news, and find your spiritual way. So someone is logically trying to break your heart, to balance you out, to keep you kind of stuck. And they're using a deceptive way to do it, but then you have this cunning energy with the Nine of Cups and the King of Cups. So here's the thing. The Witch's Familiars energy are actually allies to you. They're not your enemies. So maybe you have to be a little bit deceptive and cunning. Maybe you have to act like you don't know the truth about something. In reality, you do. Maybe you have to act like you don't have the secrets to life. Maybe you do. Fehe, cattle, success, abundance, opportunity, earned wealth, and good fortune. The spiritual meaning is fulfillment, growth, and expansion. So, success and abundance, opportunity, earned wealth, good fortune. So you need to go and find your 10th pentacle. I feel like it's coming towards you. One more card. You have the Nine of Swords coming out, and you have the Ace of Swords. That makes the 10 of Swords. But you're going to receive a truth that kind of shakes you to your core. And it's from the Angel of Temperance. Temperance coming out. The Five of Wands, the Seven of Cups, and the Three of Wands. You're imagining the worst. This was the theme of, I believe, Aquarius readings. You're imagining the worst, and the worst isn't going to happen. Okay? You're thinking that God, maybe, I feel like in a way you're thinking God is going to punish you for something and is going to be very hurtful. I don't think that's the situation. I feel like, in a way, God allows you to learn the truth of something. And that is punishment enough, is knowing the truth. Knowing the truth is punishment enough. The knowledge of good and evil, that was the punishment, being kicked out of the garden because they knew the truth. So knowing the truth of something is the punishment. I feel like that's what you're scared of God for. Or you're scared of connecting to a higher power. A lot of people will learn all of this information and they're scared to go and talk to God because they feel like they know hidden information that they're not supposed to know, but knowing the information is the punishment. Because ignorance is what? Bliss. And much learning makes one what? Mad. So anyway, Pisces, I'll talk to you later. Bye.